Morocco's miraculous run in Qatar 2022 still rings in our ears. The Atlas Lions became the first African and Arab nation to reach a World Cup semi-final, beating Spain on penalties.
Hakimi gets it done!
And then Portugal 1-0 in the quarters sent shockwaves around the world. It felt like the whole continent and region were holding their breath as Morocco made history. The sheer joy and belief of that night in Doha set a new bar. Expectations that Morocco can do it again.
For the first time in the history of the World Cup, there will be an African nation in the semi-finals.
The key to that 2022 success was a rock-solid identity. Statistically, they often had less than 40% possession per match, but what they lacked in the ball, they made up for with a defensive masterclass and lightning fast counters.
They're incredibly disciplined and happy to relinquish possession, giving Spain 77% of the ball in the round 16 game, and against Portugal game, again, Portugal didn't have as much of the ball as that, but they were dominant. But Morocco looked the more dangerous side, willing to catch them on the counter-attack. And I think you have to heap praise on Walid Regragui, their coach, who had to shuffle his defence around. There was no Aguirre, there's no Mazraoui, who plays for Bayern Munich, and he had to bring in different pieces, and they were the same Morocco side. They deserve their credit, and if you look at their tournament so far, probably had the most difficult run-in. Had a group with Croatia and Belgium in, and the Canada side that were tricky. Then played Spain in the round of 16, and then beat Portugal in the quarterfinals. You can't ask for much more on your route to a World Cup semi-final, the first African team to make it to a World Cup semi-final.
And many years from now, the kid today will have grown up and say, you know, I fell in love with this game because this Morocco team, I knew nothing about this team. I knew nothing necessarily even about the country, but I love the way that they played. And they will have converted fans, and they will have spread that word about what Moroccan soccer is, but also what this region is in terms of its coming up in the world of soccer.
Morocco's defensive identity starts from the back, and few players embody that better than Achraf Hakimi. The 27-year-old right back brings pace, intensity, and constant movement, making an impact on both sides of the pitch. In PSG 2024-25 Champions League campaign, Hakimi delivered 4 goals and 5 assists, more contributions than any other defender in the competition.
Achraf Hakimi, who in this 2025-26 season and into current day, he's put up a season that you could argue is almost a Ballon d'Or season. In Morocco, they genuinely thought that this guy deserved Ballon d'Or. And the reality is that we're not too far off of that. He's a very offensive player, and his numbers prove that he's arguably not only just one of the best fullbacks in the world, but one of the best players in the world.
There's plenty more to come from Hakimi, whether it's in Paris or with Morocco or in another club. There's much more to come. Let's see how he evolves. Let's see his progression, how that continues, and you know how far can he go really, because I even wonder sometimes if he could become a bit more of a midfielder and still has somebody behind him, so he doesn't have to think about defending. The engine is there, he can run and run and run forever. So there's so much, I think, more to come from him.
Alongside him at international level, Nusai Mazraoui had still IRL dominance, grit in challenges, and the technical quality to step into midfield when needed. In front of the defense sits Sofiane Amrabat, the tireless destroyer who was the heartbeat of Qatar 2022. Beside him, Azzedine Ounahi is the progressive carrier. The 25-year-old glides forward with calm, control, driving the team up the pitch and linking defense to attack. Together, they form a midfield engine room that simply never sleeps.
There's 2 things that make Morocco stand out above all else. It's the pride and the passion that comes when these players put on the national team jersey, much like we see with some of the top teams in the world, and it's the quality in depth. You have the likes of Youssef El Nassiri. You have Ayoub El Kabi, who's won a European trophy, and so much more. And speaking of El Kabi, I'm really high on El Kabi. It was a player who went to his manager to say, I deserve to be the number 9 for the national team. 75 goals for Olympiacos. He's got 23 goals in European competitions alone, Nico. He is a star on the rise.
From 2002 to 2015, 14, the national team were a mess. The National League was a mess. Everything about Moroccan football, it just seemed there was no identity, no purpose. But in the last couple of years, one, with the academies that have been brought up in the country, the stadiums are getting even better and better as they're preparing to host the World Cup in 2030, and it's all helped the Moroccan national team get better. The prospects in the country are getting better, and obviously the dual nats that select to play for the Moroccan national team help the national team so much, and everything culminated into that last World Cup where they reached the semifinals. But if you look at the last couple of years in the AFCONs, it's been underperforming. So that's why this 2026 is the most crucial year, I think, in Moroccan football history.
Further up the pitch, Brahim Diaz is the player who unlocks defenses. The 27-year-old attacking midfielder is lethal in one-on-ones and sees passes others don't.
Brahim Diaz, and he's still going. Oh, boy, is he still going. Well, that goal wasn't too far away. Inside the area, a little star quality, tight angle, and the goal has finally come. Brahim Diaz.
Corta espectacular, Brahim, espectacular, Brahim, gol.
On the left flank, Soufiane Rahimi is a lightning bolt, irrepressible in his dribbling, lethal in front of goal, and a nightmare for defenders in open space. Up front, Youssef En-Nesyri remains the classic target man who can win games on his own.
Ajar's corner's a good one. Oh, bullet headed by En-Nesyri.
Mira que roba Sevilla la frontal. Se mete En-Nesyri. Gol.
And 90-year-old Chemezedine Talbi has burst onto the scene with tremendous dribbling, precise crosses, and a hunger to win duels.
Still Talbi. He gets a shot away brilliantly. Oh my words. Talbi having a go. It's deflected in. Oh, Talbi for Sunderland at Anfield.
Then came the curveball. On March 5, 2026, less than 100 days before the World Cup, Walid Regragui quit the team just months before the tournament, with the decision coming after Morocco's painful defeat in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations final.
The final whistle and Senegal seal the sensational success.
Morocco chose Mohamed Ouabi as his replacement, the man who had just made history by leading Morocco's under-20 side to the country's first world title at any level. It will be Ouabi's first experience coaching a senior team. The 49-year-old spent much of his career managing youth sides at Anderlecht. His message upon taking the job was unambiguous. I'm not here to build, because the foundations are already in place. I'm here to keep performing.
I think this manager is the right guy. I don't think there should be immense pressure on him this summer to perform because it is his first tournament with the men's team. But Morocco made this drastic move, right? So you expect then Ouabi to perform with this team. I expect good performances from Ouabi. When to make the right subs, how to tactically approach with this side. I don't think there's going to be drastic changes from what we saw from the AFCON. Maybe better build-up play. That's something that Ouabi can really generate into this side, but I think he is a good manager.
Can they do it again? The ingredients are there: experienced players, a proven system, and 4 years of growth since Qatar. But a new coach with no senior level experience arriving less than 100 days before the tournament is a real unknown. And Group C, with Brazil waiting on the opening whistle, will test this team from the very first match. Morocco have every reason for confidence. Whether that confidence translates into another historic one, or whether the 2022 semi-final remains the peak of this generation, is a question only the tournament itself can answer. One thing is certain: no one will be taking the Atlas Lions lightly. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos about the World Cup.